Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're testing out some new makeup, some old makeup that's new to my collection. So if you guys are curious, if you're nosy, then just keep watching. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. What that means is basically I try to test things out and make sure they work with my skin tone. I always feel like things just look different depending on your skin tones and your undertones. So when I first got on YouTube, I would spend all my money buying things that all of my big favorite beauty gurus recommended, and I'm like, it doesn't really look like that on me. So yeah, I basically decided to start a channel so I could share with other people that have like a medium tan complexion or they're Asian like I am, so that we could kind of benefit from having some reviews from people that look like us. So if that sounds good to you, highly recommend subscribing. Even if you're not tan girl friendly, I still feel like there's a lot you can learn from watching my channel, hopefully. I mean, obviously I feel that way because it's my channel, but highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, I just like burnt myself out over the last couple of weeks, but I am back. I took a couple of days off. I'm a little bit bummed because I didn't get my new makeup releases video up like I usually do. But you know what? We're going to post it late because there's so many good releases that I want to chat about. So I'm going to do that anyway after this video. But today's video is going to be a little bit chill. I'm going to try out some makeup that was new when I bought it, but honestly, Ulta took forever to like get this stuff to me. Like one of these orders, it took like 2 weeks to get to my house, which I'm so confused about. But I have some new makeup. I have some old makeup that's new to me, so it's gonna be fun. I have this guy, which I'm excited to play with. This is the Genuine Gems palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and I actually bought this with my own money. And of course, then I didn't get around to using it, and now they're actually announcing their third palette, which is like a berry theme palette that looks so cute. I'll put a picture up for you guys. And the brand actually reached out and they're gonna send it to me in PR. I don't usually say that, but I have my tracking number, so I'm pretty confident. I was gonna do a 2 palettes, 2 looks video, but I thought that a lot of you might be curious about this brand. I know I've seen a ton of my friends review them on YouTube as well, but you guys know I like to give my opinion on things. So I decided no better time than the present to test out that palette. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And then I bought a bunch of stuff from Ulta. So for years and years on YouTube, I had heard people rave about the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. And this guy is so affordable, definitely under like $10. I think it might retail for like $6.99. I'm not sure off the top of my head. And of course, as I was casually scrolling the Ulta website, I saw they came out with a new foundation. So this is the Essence Keep Me Covered Long Lasting Foundation, transfer proof and waterproof. And I bought it in the shade 150 Natural Tan. It was really hard to pick out my shades. It really is with Essence. But like I said, I had good luck with this one. So this one's 160 Warm Desert. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. And then I couldn't decide on the concealer, so I bought the Keep Me Covered concealer in 2 shades. And we have 70 Natural Ochre and 90 Golden Tan. So I think Golden Tan's probably going to be the shade I test out. And we're going to have to pull some double duty because I do have another concealer. I was just curious about this one. It launched originally on Nordstrom, but I ended up waiting for it to come to Ulta, and I grabbed the Urban Decay Quickie Concealer. This is up to 24-hour wear multi-use concealer. It's a bit of a big old chunky package right here, and it says that this is also waterproof and transfer resistant. So I'm excited to try this. I got it in the shade 50WY. It looks kind of light. I know it has this little brush that's kind of cute and chunky. How do you open this? I thought it was like a twist. Oh gosh. Am I gonna break this sucker? Oh, here we go. Okay. Whew. Okay. So it kind of has the same size wand as like the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So curious about that. And then I placed another order on Ulta to get these when they launched. So this is the Flower Beauty Low Light Liquid Contour Corrector Liquids. So we have medium and deep. I couldn't decide which shade, and they were like buy one get one half off, so I bought 2 shades. And then I was waiting for this to come to Ulta because my friends were raving about this, so I bought the shade Warm Bronze in the new Tarte Sculpt Tape, which I am so pumped about because there's more shades of this than the Charlotte Tilbury contour one. So very excited to give that a go. So that is some of the complexion products that I'm going to be trying in this video. And I've had these Flower Beauty Spotlight liquid highlighters for a while, and I don't think I've ever featured them in a video, so I'm going to include these in today's video as well. And then I have 2 brushes I need to test out. So I've been waiting for BK Beauty to sell this individually. This is their 109 brush, which is a smaller version of their famous 101 brush. The 101 I always felt like was a little too big for me. So when I saw this, I was like, yes! I think they could almost do one bigger, but still smaller than the 101. So that's on my wish list. And I totally forgot to use these in my Unearthly Valentine's box video, but Unearthly is going to be coming out with some new brushes. I don't have a date yet, but the owner so kindly sent over the brushes to try out, and I love the bright orange color. So yeah, I'm excited to play with some of these as well, because you guys know I really like the Unearthly brushes, and so yeah, I'm gonna play with those too. So we've got a lot to pack into this video, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so when I'm doing my makeup, whether it's for YouTube or on just any other day, I usually do my face makeup first because I just got used to doing that. So we're going to go ahead and use this foundation first. Okay, so I'm going to try it with the BK Beauty brush, and I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. I haven't put any primer on, but I just washed my face and moisturized. So I'm just going to use the moisturizer as a primer. I feel like I did an okay job on this shade match. It does have a bit of a warm, like olive undertone to it. So that's good. I always have to be careful with undertones too, because the ones that are described as warm, like that are like more orangey, I'm not a big fan of. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slowly pack that on. I'm not really in any rush to do my makeup today. I think I'm gonna film like maybe one other video after this one, kind of trying to ease myself back into it. But you guys, I have a release that hasn't been announced yet in my hands, and let me tell you, I feel like January was just like the littest month for indies, and at least one exciting indie launch in February that I can't wait for. So this is the side with the foundation, this is the side without foundation. I feel like my skin just has had a lot of discoloration lately, which I'm really kind of bummed about, but I don't know if it's like pregnancy related, so I refuse to like stress about it. And I've also been trying to try other skincare that I've been getting in PR. So far, nothing has really like shook me to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than what I was using. So I try stuff out, and then I like break out, and I'm like, okay, I'm not that interested in it, and it ends up in naughty bin. This foundation is looking very nice. It's definitely a little glowier than I thought, but I mean, the coverage so far is very nice. And so now I'm just gonna put it on the other side as well. It has a scent to it, but it's not like a fruity scent or anything like that. And I'm really liking the coverage so far. Oh my gosh. I really like how that looks. Huh. I mean, I thought I would like it, but I wasn't really sure what to expect, so I feel like I had pretty low expectations. So I'm really impressed with the fact that this is an affordable foundation. I think it's definitely like under $7. I'm pretty sure it's $6.99. I can't remember off the top of my head, but even if it was like a $40 foundation, I would think this is really nice first impressions. But the fact that it's affordable, I feel like just like makes it an A plus. You know what I mean? Like price wise and stuff, like being affordable. I feel like I don't buy a ton of drugstore makeup, but if something piques my curiosity, I definitely will for sure. Like I said, I bought the Flower Beauty bronzer thing because I'm really excited about that. But I really like how this foundation looks. I'm a little bit shook at, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that be for a little bit, and we want to play with the concealers we're gonna try out. So I'm gonna start off on this eye. We're gonna use the Keep Me Covered concealer from LA Girl, and it says it's a buildable medium coverage, creamy texture with aloe vera, dermatologically tested on sensitive skin. And I'm gonna use the shade Golden Tan. Just gonna put on like a generous amount because I'm feeling like it. And then I saw this really cool brush in the Unearthly brush set. This one called UC819. It's like a chunky little guy. Looks like it'd be perfect for concealer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just gonna pat that on. Okay, so this is the side with concealer. This is no concealer right now. Okay, so I don't feel like the concealer like blew me away. It's a little bit thin because I feel like I can still see my skin, but we'll see, we'll see. We'll try and remain unbiased. And now I'm gonna use the Urban Decay one. This one feels a little thicker, so I don't want to put a ton on. I don't know about this brush on the back of this thing. I don't think I'm gonna try and stick that under my eyes. I'm just gonna stick to the Unearthly brush and just gonna kind of like tap it on. See, this shade I thought would work for me, but I don't know, it's a little light. I don't love using a concealer that's super light under my eyes. I know that was like a thing back in the day, but I prefer to like have it match my skin tone. But I wear like 50 in their Naked foundation, and so I thought that the shade would be like pretty close to my skin tone in the concealer, but clearly I was wrong. This foundation is very dewy. I'm gonna need it to like dry down a little bit. I'm just gonna wait a little before I set my face, and I'm gonna put on my eyeshadow primer so that I can get ready to put on eyeshadow. Okay, so eyeshadow primer is on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my two cream bronzers before I like set my face and stuff because I want to be able to do that. So let's see here. We have the Flower Beauty in the shade medium. Ooh, it's coming out. I see it. I see it. I'm a very impatient person, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it on. I think medium should work. I think deep might be a little too deep for me. I'm gonna use this BK Beauty 106. I can see it, but maybe I need a little more. Blending nicely. Let's try deep. Might as well since I have it, and that way you guys can see if there's a difference in the shades. Okay, I definitely see a little bit of a difference. So let me give you guys a swatch. So this is deep. Okay, so there is a difference in the shade. So medium and deep. I think I can get use out of both of them. They were doing buy one, get one. So of course it like tricked me into buying both shades because I was like, well, I'm getting 50% off one of them. So stupid. Okay, so let's try the Tarte Double Duty Shape Tape Sculpt Tape Contour blah, 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 blah. This is very nice. Similar style packaging. I think they just like splurge on the cap. Ooh, that came up real quick. Ooh, okay. And this is the shade, I can't remember, I told you guys. Bronze something. Did they seriously not put it on the packaging? Warm bronze. That's annoying. Okay, I like that color. It's definitely more sun-kissed. Let me swatch this one too. Oh yeah, so look at that. So that's Warm Bronze by Tarte, Medium by Flower, and Deep by Flower. Okay, so this is the Tarte side. This is the Flower side. What do you think? I think I like the Tarte side a little bit better at this present moment in time. Okay, so my base is mostly done. I'm gonna pick a blush shade and a highlighter shade afterwards so I can like decide based on the eyeshadow look I do. So now let's go ahead and get into playing with the Genuine Gems eyeshadow palette so that we can see how we feel about this brand and their formula before we test out their new palette. So I did go ahead and film some close-ups of the palette, and of course I did swatches. So there are 12 mattes and then 6 shimmer shades. And the mattes swatch so nicely, so pigmented. So I decided to swatch the 2 rows of mattes together. And then I swatched the metallics separately. And I will say the shade Ruby was just so beautiful and vibrant, that red shade. And the metallics were really nice and creamy, but they're definitely more gently pigmented, which is not a big deal. I still felt like they were very good quality, so I'm very excited to put them on my eyes. And then on the back, it contains all of the ingredients for anyone that's curious. And it says that this is a pressed pigment and shades are not intended for use in the immediate eye area. So that's just the eye safety warning. There's a batch code on here. Net weight is 25.2 grams or 0.885 ounces, made in the PRC. Talc-free, mineral oil-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free with a 12-month shelf life. I will say that some indie brands, the packaging doesn't feel very high quality, but honestly, this packaging feels very, very nice. It looks very well thought out. I also really like that the pans look like they are magnetized. So if you want to rearrange it, that could be something that you could do. And yeah, it's just very fun. Like personally, I could see myself moving all the mattes in the first 2 rows and having the metallics on the bottom. But that's kind of fun, right? Because you can just do whatever you want with your palettes, in my opinion. Okay, so for today's look, I think I'm gonna play with the blues and the greens. I can't help myself. I feel like that's how I judge palettes, is by playing with the colorful shadows. And then for the Unearthly brushes, a lot of them are face brushes. So I have 2 kind of flat brushes that I can use for the shimmer shades, but I'm gonna need to dip into my brushes for the crease and stuff. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Jade, which is a really pretty, like minty color. And I have to tell you guys, I went to get my nails done. And I was like fully intending on doing something like pink for Valentine's Day. I don't know why I'm like really excited, like extra excited for Valentine's Day. I've been like buying me and my daughter like matching outfits. Like we have nowhere to go, but you know, whatever. And then I went to the place to get my nails done. And as soon as I saw the greens, I was like, oh, I'll have this green shade. Like, it's so typical me. Okay, so first off, these mattes are pretty soft. So if you are pretty rough with your eyeshadows, just make sure you're like dusting off your brush to avoid fallout, but they're blending very, very nicely. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Blue Topaz, which is a more vibrant blue matte shade, and I'm definitely just kind of keeping that in the crease, but like in the lower half of the crease, and just blending it into the shade Jade. Okay, that looks fun. And now we're gonna take the shade Emerald, which is the dark green right here, and I want to put that on the outer corner. Yeah, so the emerald shade, honestly, on the eyes, it's not as contrasting as I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I just wish there was like a little bit more depth to that emerald shade. It's more like a mid-tone green, but will survive. So that's it, I think, for the mattes. Now we're gonna play with the metallics, and I really want to use this shade called Luxurious, which is like a really pretty blue purple shade on the lid. So let's go ahead and pick that up. That's the only shade in my palette that came broken, and I just smushed it back in there with a paper towel. So I'm gonna give it a nice spray, and we're just gonna kind of go ahead and, oh, what? That is so metallic. I am shook because they swatch very like soft, so I wasn't expecting like full on like New Year's sparkle, but she's here. She's like, listen, lady, I don't know who you think you are, but I've got some shimmer packed in there. I'm just gonna put it all over the lid. Oh, I'm so happy with this color I picked. I was gonna be my usual self and go with like the predictable blue-green option, but I was like, you can try the purple with the green. It's okay. And I just, whew, I really like how that looks. I will be curious though to see if the sparkle stays on or if throughout the day, if the sparkle goes away. I'll try and keep you guys posted in the description box, or I'll try and pin a comment just to keep you guys posted, because I feel like I'm very, very curious because it's very sparkly. I think maybe if I used a glitter glue, I would feel more confident in the fact that it stays on, but we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, I really like how sparkly that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line off camera. I'm also gonna throw on some brows, and I'll be right back to pick out some blush and throw on some highlighter and some lipstick. Okay, you guys, the look is coming together. I did throw on some mascara, and of course, in true Karen Harris fashion, it did get everywhere. So I'm just gonna clean it off when it dries up, but I did go ahead and pick out a blush that was in my collection. I feel like I've been talking about Milani with my friends, so I decided to go ahead and grab this one. This is Coco Felicita 130 in their Baked Powder Blush formula, and I think this one might have been a limited edition blush, but you know what? I want to use it, and I thought it would be like a perfect neutral shade, so I'm going to grab these Unearthly brushes. Have such cool shapes. I think this would be such a good one for like a cream blush too, but I'm grabbing this for the powder, and this is the UC813. So, oh my gosh, this is like very pigmented. But I love the Milani blushes. I even like their cream blushes. But sometimes I just, oh, I feel like I went a little overboard on this side. I also feel like the foundation did kind of dry down a bit, and I did powder as well under my eyes. I just used my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder, but this is definitely like a deep skin friendly blush, I think. And I don't know if this is a permanent blush. I think I picked it up in like a collection that they launched a couple of years ago, maybe last year, I can't remember. But I am a lover of like natural type blush shades, like ones that look like neutrals and browns. So that's why I picked this up. I think it's such a pretty color. And now it's time to play with highlighter. So I feel like I haven't used these on camera on my channel. I could be wrong, but I felt like it was really useful for you guys to see the different tones. So let me go ahead and just swatch these for you guys as well. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So this is the shade Gleam from Flower Beauty. So pigmented. Next we have Opal, which is like a champagne shade. And then this must be the darkest one. It's called Gilded. Yeah, that one's more like a gold shade. So we have Gleam, Opal, and Gilded from Flower Beauty. I hope you guys can see it. I kind of want to use Gilded because it's a little bit different. And I'm going to use this number 12 brush. I think this is, I don't know what I would use this for actually. It's kind of an interesting shape, but it has like a angle to it. So I think it might make a pretty highlighting brush, but I like to put highlighter on my brow bone as well. And I'm just kind of trying to like tap it. So no highlight with highlight. And I like to put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. This is going to be a pretty one in the summertime. It's a little bit dark, so it looks kind of like a lit from within shade for me, but it's cute. I think these products have been out for like, what, a year now? And I had never used this color. Kind of fun to try the other shades as well. I think I could put these in my Shop My Stash for February, but yeah, super cute. And now let's throw on a lip color. Okay, so for lips, I chose the shade Spicy Queen from Half Magic Beauty. This is called a Mouth Cloud. So I haven't used this, I don't think, since I filmed my testing Half Magic. So let's go ahead and put it on. Okay, if you know me, this is totally my kind of shade. So yeah, I'm glad I pulled this out and tried it out again. It's a very comfortable formula. I know Half Magic just launched some blushes and they look so delicious, but I'm gonna try and hold strong because there's so many blushes that I own that I wanna get some more use out of. But yeah, I really like this lip color. So all we need now is to throw on some earrings and then we can talk about all the new makeup, the old makeup, and the new to me makeup I tested out in this video. Okay friends, so here is the finished look. Of course I had to throw on my, I don't even know what to call these. I know they have like a designer name, but I feel like they're like the Rare Beauty earrings. I'm just gonna call them my Rare Beauty earrings, the PR package I gave myself. Listen, I will say just some hot tea for you guys. I did get a DM from Rare Beauty and they made me fill out some kind of survey, so maybe we'll get something from PR from them. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it. Oh my gosh, let's just manifest Karen onto the Rare Beauty PR list. But yeah, this is the finished look and you guys will have to let me know what you think down in the comments. But let's go ahead and chat about some of these products. So like I mentioned, I did use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder in the shade Tan. I've been just trying to use this when I'm filming for YouTube, and I have the shade Medium, but I bought the shade Tan because they added the shade Tan and I really like it. I really like how it mattifies my skin. So yeah, that one, it's just something that's in my collection. Same with this Milani powder blush. I haven't used this in forever, so it was really fun to play with that. Definitely has like a sheen to it, and I might have gone a little bit overboard with it, but I really like the color, so we're not mad about it. I'm very excited about this BK Beauty brush. I'm so glad I bought it. I almost bought, they did a bundle with the Hot and Flashy concealer brush and then the 101, but I really didn't want another 101 because that brush is just too big for me. So I'm glad that once they ended that bundle, they launched these as singles, and I'm glad I patiently waited because I didn't want to buy all the brushes. I just wanted this one, so I did go ahead and grab it, and it's so, so good. So I can't wait to add that to my stash. And then the Unearthly brushes that I tried out today are so fun. I can't wait to get some use out of these. I think this brush that I use for concealer would also be really good for putting on eyeshadow primer because it's really dense. So I'm excited about that. I really like the shape of this brush. It's like a synthetic brush, but it was really nice for blush, and I really love a good flat brush for applying my eyeshadows. So that was a hit. And then we have some other brushes that I didn't use today, like this fluffy blush that's going to be so good for powdering my face. This is the one I'm not quite sure about. I think this could be a good cream brush. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll have to see what the recommended use for this one is. Kind of a different shape for me. This one also looks like it'd be another nice like powder product brush. And then I feel like this one was a little small for highlighter, but sometimes I like a small brush for highlighter because I can really target where I'm putting things. And we have another flat brush as well, so I can't wait for Unearthly to launch these. because they are so nice. I really like the vibrant pop of orange as well for the shade. Now these products, I had tried one of the shades. I had tried the shade Gleam, but I hadn't even swatched Opal and Gilded, so I'm so glad that I finally did, and these are so pretty. I really like the formula. They're very pigmented, but they go on very nicely on my skin, so I think I'm definitely gonna have to add these to my next month Shop My Stash. I need to film an update for you guys, which I'm so excited about, but these are so nice. They're not new, but if you're ordering one of the other products that I tested out today, I would highly recommend picking one of these up because they were sold out forever on Ulta's website, and I think they're a little bit easier to come by now. So I really like this so far. I don't know if I can say these are a dupe to Charlotte Tilbury shade-wise, but I think on their own, they really held up very well. So I'm really excited about those and finally trying them all out, or at least swatching them all. And then this Half Magic, did I talk about this? It's very nice. It's very comfy. I really like the color. I don't see myself buying more from the lip line from Half Magic, but I'm glad I got to try this shade out when I did because it's a fun color. And then let's talk about the Flower Beauty Low Light Liquid Contours. I think I should have just gone in with Deep. I think medium is just a little too close to my skin tone to give me any definition, but I will definitely be putting this in my Shop My Stash as well because I want to see how it does when I get to apply it all over my face, and I'll definitely be using it to film and stuff in the next couple of days. I've just been waiting to film a testing new makeup video before I can add it to my bunch of products that I want to try because I don't know, there's something about like a good first impression, you know? And then I also am very excited about the Sculpt Tape. I think the shade is really beautiful. I'm glad that they did a similar product, but they made it better by giving people options as far as shades go. I mean, the shade that I was using in the Charlotte Tilbury, I used the darker one. And if you're darker than me, I really doubt you can get away with using that one. I don't think it would bronze. So I'm happy that Tarte did more shades because I think this is such a genius idea to have like a liquid bronzer like this. So it's nice that we finally have another alternate option to recommend. And I think the Tarte one is cheaper too. So that's really a nice option. The Quickie Concealer, I think I like a little bit better than the one from Essence. The Essence one was very kind of like thinner, but I definitely want to keep trying these products, like using them on my whole face. I don't love having to do like half on one side and half on the other side. But yeah, I will keep you guys posted on these in upcoming videos. Definitely plan on throwing these in my Shop My Stash. I don't love this shade. I feel like I wish I had gotten a shade with a little bit more warmth to it. And this packaging is basically like the size of a foundation, so that's a little bit interesting. Like, it's so big, but it is a multi-use concealer. So, you know, some people like to just use concealer and that's that for them. So I'm not one of those people, but I can appreciate when a brand thinks about stuff like that. Yeah, so this one, it's nice. I definitely like a more full coverage for under my eyes because, girl, those designer eye bags are real. And I'm actually really excited about this long-lasting foundation. Like I said, I'll give you guys an update in the description box or like a pinned comment on how long wearing this was. I have a pretty busy day today because we have like dinner plans with friends and things like that. So I'll probably keep this foundation on for quite a few hours, at least until I go to bed, because I don't foresee myself taking this off. But I really like the shade. I think I did an okay job considering I had to like pretty much wing it, and I really like how it looks on my skin. It looks very natural. It doesn't look cakey. It definitely covered my imperfections. It started off a lot dewier than it is now, but I think it looks like a good like satin natural finish foundation, and the price is excellent, so I love that for me. And just so you guys know too, I will try and link everything down below. Some of those links will be affiliate links, or if I have affiliate codes with any of these brands, I'll put those in as well. And as always, I really appreciate it when you guys use my links and codes to shop. So just want to mention that. And now let's go ahead and talk about the final piece, the Genuine Gems palette from Simply Posh. Like I mentioned at the start, I did actually buy this one with my own money, because when this, actually their first palette, what was it called? Like Fairy Floss or something. I can't quite remember, but I feel like a few people I follow, actually quite a lot of people I follow on YouTube and on Instagram were talking about this brand. So I was so curious, and then I bought this one, and it was just so busy around the holidays that I never got around to doing anything with it. So I'm so glad I finally got to play with it. I will say that this formula is definitely a little bit different from my preferred formula, but it's also different in a good way. Like, it's good for me to try to make other types of products work. So this is a very thin matte formula. It's very buildable. It is very soft and dusty, so you will see like a lot of kick up when you put your brush in it, but all you have to do is just make sure you're dusting off your brush so that you don't get a ton of fallout, which is nice. And yeah, I just like a good matte formula that like builds on itself better than having something be so pigmented but patchy and things like that, you know. I like to be able to blend, so this one works well for that. And then the metallic honestly blew me away. I use this shade called Luxurious. It's like a pretty blue purpley shade, and it foiled beautifully, very sparkly. Oh, and then on my inner corner, I did end up using the shade Clarity, which is a really pretty like gold green like seafoam shade. So that's what's on my inner corners. But yeah, overall, I'm really impressed with the palette. It is a very soft, silky formula, but it works really well. So yeah, as much as I can leave comments on the longevity of all of these things, I will try and add some notes in the description box or in a pinned comment. If you guys have any questions about the things I tried out today that I might have not covered in this video, definitely let me know down below. I'll do my best to get to your comment. And yeah, that is it for testing new makeup episode number 5. I do have a testing new makeup playlist, so if you guys are interested in seeing some of the previous episodes, I highly recommend checking them out because they're all from this year so far. And I mean, who doesn't love talking about new makeup releases, whether we should pick them up or not? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in another video very soon.